delicious.
I'm just going stuff.
Oh, you're going al fresco. I hope you didn't put any. Hope you didn't put any links on.
And I'll switch to 4 gig.
I hope you didn't put any links on this morning because you're going to be in trouble. Oh.
Ground noise of the trucks and drilling won't be too bad.
No, I can't hear anything. It normally, the microphones are really quite.
How are we getting on
microphones
now?
are really quite smart. You've frozen on me, which is fine because you're a handsome man.
Yeah, good. See, you're working fully better on my end now.
Okay, so yours will catch up in a second. It'll come through to me. Yeah, there we go. So I've got you looking like dial-up. You look like robot. Yeah. Were you doing the robot or were you actually moving normally?
I look like a robot too.
but.
Yeah, I'm actually doing the robot thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, internet's great.
I think we're in it. I think we might be. Are we working? I think we might be.
All right then. So we'll get underway. Internet troubles, etc., etc. There's always problem. Sam Ward. Firstly, that you're here. You need a Tinder account for your hair. You're looking ridiculous. Nice to see you. It hasn't been the best of years, given sometime just previous to this year. But firstly, thank you. You look handsome. You look well. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Yeah, whirlwind little journey recently. Lots going on, lots to come back. Then different things happening, and basically then obviously an Olympic Games cancelled and all that. I said, yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind 6 months, let's say.
Yeah, not the best, but without giving too much away, because we'll get into that. You look like you're coming through a whole lot better than could have been. Obviously, it could have been very, very serious, but you look like you're on a real good path to recovery.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's mad. Like, for me to look back now and think where I've come from and how I kind of sit and feel at the moment is just two completely different situations. And obviously we'll get into it shortly, but I said at the moment, I don't think I've been happier. Obviously it's a tough time for everyone really, in what's going on in the world, but actually I think I can deal with it so much better because of the experiences of the last 6 months. And I see not only do I literally see things very differently, I obviously see the whole world and perspective of things massively different.
I completely appreciate your literal use of the word literal, and you actually mean it literally. That was, I appreciate that. So for those that don't know, Sam Ward is a England hockey player, international goal scorer extraordinaire, in fairness, celebrator, probably third to a couple, but way up there in terms of celebration. You always lose points for a dab. Give us how many Olympics, Sam? 2, 3 now?
No, one. Just about. Hopefully, we'll be going to a second, but obviously it's just been cancelled. So I've now got another year to work hard and get back to get my place for 2021.
Hold on. So have I missed? So you went to Rio, yeah?
I went to Rio. We had the Commonwealth Games as well. I've been to a Commonwealth Games in between that, you see.
Okay.
I actually didn't come in the programme till 2015. No problem.
Yeah, and goal scorer of some note though as well. In terms of games played, you have one of the higher goals per games, don't you? In terms of you just running on and seagulling up the front. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I've scored. England, Great Britain caps combined is 126, and I've scored 72 goals.
What kind of ratio is that like for others that play and play in a similar position, your similar role?
I think when I first started out, I was suggested that I'd have a good career if I left with goals 1 in 3.
Yeah.
So to be shooting at above 1 in 2. I'm very happy, and obviously you've now only, I feel like, get better and better as time goes.
You're 2 in 3 games, is that right?
Just over. So I don't know. I'm not very good at maths, I'd be.
No. What did you say? You said 75 goals in how many games? 100 odd games.
Goals, 126 games. So yeah,
okay.
I'm under 1 in 2.
Over 1 and 2, but just sort of that's phenomenal. There's for let's say one-day cricket. If we're talking white ball, one-day cricket, if you can finish your career with 1 wicket per 50 over game, you've done all right. But when you said finish 1 goal in 3 games, and you're well past 1 goal, almost 2 goals per 3 games. That's phenomenal. What is that? Is that luck? Is that knack? Is that having good people around you? Big skill, obviously.
I think I've got quite a niche skill set. I wouldn't say I'm the most naturally gifted hockey player. I've lacked finesse or anything, but I carry bravery and passion, and I think that's what I score a lot of goals other people don't. Like the small, they laugh and joke, but your tap-ins, diving head first at the far post, which actually other people won't dive in there because of safety. And that's when the ball goes flashing by the back post. And I'd probably score a lot of my goals in that way that people don't get in there. Where
does that motivation come from to really put your body on the line to score something as I know it sounds ridiculous. It's insignificant, isn't it? A goal, like taking a wicket, it's kind of insignificant in the real whole world scenario, but it is the be all and end all. Where do you get that I'm going to do something stupid here and probably hurt myself to score a goal? Always had it, or just a real joy of doing dumb things?
Yeah, I think a combination of a joy of doing dumb things. You know me well enough.
Yeah.
That for one. Second, I think it's just a passion to succeed, and I'll do anything I can and put my body and anything on the line to do what I can for my country. So being able to do that makes me as a hockey player. I feel is having the passion, the desire, the commitment. That is me as a hockey player, and that's what I carry through, which brings it.
I'm going to stop you there, and I'm going to call a little bit of BS on that. No, because these are some of the reasons for the chats, because that's the party line, yeah. Or I want to do it, the passion for my country, all that. Well, yeah, but you're playing a game of hockey at the end of the day. You're not. It's for you and it's for your teammates, and it's a reasonably well-paid professional sport now. You were always diving around. You were always doing these things. You were always in your teams in the lower levels. You were always diving around. So it's not a country thing. And I while it can be a motivator, I don't think that is always or one of the first reasons people should say, because I don't think it's quite right. You do those things, I think, because of your own pride.
Yeah, I'd probably passion and pride. Yeah, you'd absolutely nail on the head there. And the passion and the pride I feel in succeeding is just worth every inch of it.
Is that and again, look, I will.
You're not letting anyone down. That's the thing. Like if I'm achieving and doing what I can do, I feel like I'll never let people down. So I know if I've given it my everything.
This chat is I'm probably going to talk. We're probably going to talk 50-50 in this chat, because we always have good chats. We met a few years ago now. We're playing some club cricket down in Rothley in the Leicester League. Rothley Park Cricket Club, cool little club, cool little ground, run by some good people, and we had some good fun. And you played cricket, and you rocked up this hockey icon and hockey hero and local boy as well. And proceeded to do ridiculous things on the field and run around like a hunting dog out in the park. And the lack of ego, and I'll use that in the kindest way, in terms of what you've done, what you've achieved, and the person you were, you endeared yourself to me very, very quickly. And we found quite a quick, good, confident, talking relationship. That's reasonably fair, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. I think that's one of the things I sit back now and look on when we look at things between how we get on. It's I remember a day just us sitting having the heart-to-heart in the changing room at Rothley Park on a Saturday afternoon over a couple of shandies, and it was just one of those days where we were sat there going, no, this is great. We're sat there having honest conversations, something that people sometimes are afraid to have, and actually at that time, did we know each other that well? No, but it was one of those things that kind of we chatted, and it just brings you together.
I think there's an element that in us too. I never like to project, and I never like to try and put my feelings onto other people. But at the same stage, I think we both struggle with performances, struggle with trying to be the right person in the right situations. We've both done pretty cool things, and we go and play some club cricket with people that look to us and they go, wow, those people have done some cool things. And I think we both struggle a little bit being normal, because what is normal? But you're still supposed to carry around that ego of some description because you've done something pretty phenomenal. I think there was a bonding on a awkwardness of being good and trying to be just one of the lads and just trying to run around like idiots.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. It's just, that was what it was. We were having an absolute lining afternoon, week after week, just chatting absolute nonsense, running around. But we just want to be one of the boys, and we were there to have fun. We were there to play some local cricket, and actually you just wanting to be one of them in this in your world, or you've done this in your world. No. I'm here to play cricket with mates. I'm having fun, and that's kind of how I see it.
Do you I always try to bring my childish joy when I go back and play cricket. I try and bring a enthusiasm that I had if I was 15, 20 years younger, with a level of chat and behaviour of my own age, if that makes sense. I like to think I've sort of rounded off a lot of my rougher edges, but I still try and play like a 26-year-old who's got a Saturday afternoon off. You are about that age anyway, and you play that way. How do you do it? Because you rock up and you play hockey, and you rock up and you're Mr. Personality, and you're Mr. Energetic, and then you crash, don't you?
Yeah, it's a real weird one. It's I don't know how to do it. I think it's a really weird one in general, because the concept of cricket and me playing cricket for Oakley is that's my downtime.
Yeah.
And that's all about spending time. And to be fair, I've been there at the club now 12 years. So I'm playing with a group of best mates. So I'm actually all of a sudden home. I'm with a group of best mates. I'm living the dream. I'm having a great time. I'm downtime away from hockey. It's a real interesting kind of dynamic to go back into that and actually just want to live a normal life with everyone and just have a day out with them. And then actually the energy you have to bring to that, even then, because you still have that burning sports person desire that you've got to go and give everything, and you're there to set an example still, because whether I'm playing hockey or playing cricket, I'm still playing the level I have, and I'm still in the eye of people to be respected and be a proper athlete, that I need to make sure I'm enjoying myself and having fun. It's not serious, but I've also got to hold my reputation as an athlete, so people see the best of you. And all of a sudden, come 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, I'm on an absolute calm down.
Mate, and it's hard trying to be Mr. Personality and Mr. Energetic and Mr. Enthusiastic. There's so much more downtime in cricket for that, in terms of trying to G the boys up and trying to enjoy and create some chat, create some noise, create fun. Is there time in hockey to do the same thing? It's a very different game, moves a whole lot faster, but is there enough interaction when the whistle stops to have that kind of fun, or that kind of fake noise, that kind of just trying to bring some energy that maybe isn't required?
It's a tough one. I think it's very different. So for me, I feel I carry. So my way of carrying our boys wouldn't be to make them, wouldn't be like the laughy joke in a hockey world. Mine would be bringing the energy, so they see me close down someone quickly, which then brings them with me, which kind of creates the buzz, creates the noise. You then win a foul. It kind of momentum it carries. That's the way I'd say I do it in the hockey world, is by bringing the energy and, the passion. Someone lines you up, goes to whack it. You put your hand on the floor, you're waving, things like that, and people see in that, and it drags everyone through. You don't have the time to have the jokey, banterous conversations. I mean, you say that, then obviously rotating subs on the bench, jokes, but some people like a joke and some people don't like a joke, and I'm one that does, but other people have to be so focused on their game at all times. It's a very different way for them.
The real difference. Another real difference is that in cricket, you've got plenty of time to get the right words around the team. You've got plenty of time to how someone does something not very good. Someone drops a catch, someone misfields, someone plays bad shot, someone bowls something horrible. There's plenty of time in between the next delivery to say the right words as opposed to react or respond. In hockey, similarly to football, there's often very little amount of time to let that person know that, gee whiz, you needed to pass me the ball instead of doing that. Is it a bit more angry and fast reflex reaction in hockey like it is and we do see in football?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things. It's kind of, you've got probably at times 2 seconds to deliver a message, and it's being precise to the point, but to get the point across. And we talk heavily about, it's not just the giver, it's the receiver in regards to what you say could be taken in different ways, but it's how you receive it. Someone may deliver a perfect message, but you take it badly. Yep. Or another day, things are going well for you and you'll take it really well. So it's a combination of a two-way conversation. It's learning to deal with actually what the message is being sent, and actually if you then go back at them and then someone else transfer the ball, you're now out of position. You can't afford to take those times. So especially with us having quarter times now, sometimes it is brilliant that in 15 minutes, if it's 7 minutes to quarter time, you just bank it. You're not happy, but just don't say anything. Leave it. Let it go. In 7 minutes, you can just say, what do you say? Not impressed, blah, blah, blah. We also have a rule. We get things off our chest. We don't leave it bubbling, because if that bubbles for another 2 weeks, it explodes. Actually, at the end of the game, look, I'm not happy with that. I've had a fair few with a few blokes. Look, I said, oh, sorry, I'm out of order. Hold my hands up. He says, sorry, I reacted badly. Done. And actually, if you do it in the right way, it's put to bed in seconds. So when you let the little bits bubble.
When you're free and you have 2/3 of an open goal because there's one-on-one and you're free out on the other side of the goal and you don't get the ball, how do you pass on your frustration that the other player was selfish, should have passed you the ball as opposed to do what they do, and still be a good teammate and a good comrade?
I think early on in my career, I'd have been a terrible bloke, and I'd have told them in every way possible. Yeah, I think the one thing I've learned over the last few years is you know if, like me, I've done it before. I've shot from the baseline instead of rolling it across into an open goal. Did it in the Euros, gone absolute rollicking, got told everything under the sun. Fair play, that's fine. And actually, you watch it back in the video and you say, yeah, I screwed up. But the delivery at the time was really aggressive. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with it, but do I think it was deserved? But now I think I'd go for more of the try and get a bit of eye contact and be like, yeah. And they'll be like, yeah, acknowledge, clear off, put to bed. There's no point dwelling in it, because they then could lose the next 10 minutes due to the fact they're dwelling on the thought of that, which then affects the whole team. So it is a matter of delivering things in the right manner now. Because
hockey's a real team player game. You cannot do anything without other players around you. Cricket, very different, very individual. You run after a ball, you field it. The ball's quick hit to you, you catch. You bowl it, you hit it. A very, very individual game. How do you switch your personalities between those two sports? I know hockey is number one. Cricket is my sport, but I know you through cricket, and I have watched you play hockey, and you are two different active beasts. How do you? I say beast in a way that you are quite a domineering figure. Even though you're quite slight, you do hold more ground and more stature. How do you split is that just something you've been able to do because you've played cricket for ages and you've played hockey for ages? You just split your personalities?
I'd say yes. I'd say also it's to do with how I see the game. Because I see hockey so sensible and serious, and this is my job. Yeah. And this is actually where I've taken a lot out of cricket, is the Sam that plays cricket will be committed and everything, but a lot more relaxed. And actually now trying to carry a bit of that back into hockey, going, it is only a game. Yes, it might be a job, and it means a lot, and it does. But by being that relaxed and things being okay over here, that's fine. So actually, I'd say I learned more about myself during a cricket game where I'm playing with my mates, I'm having fun, I see it as my away time. Actually, if I can carry that personality to become this bloke playing hockey, you become actually a much better hockey player as well.
I've always been an advocate of playing as many sports as you can as a kid, and I played when I was at small school, when I was at big school, college, and university. I played as many sports. I played canoe polo, which is just ridiculous and stupid. I played croquet for Wellington. I played basketball, played netball. I played volleyball. I played every sport I could get my hands on, and I think an element I think you have too, and that's where you get to take those transfers of skills, but also the mental side of it, and taking the fun bit from that and trying to use that. Fair to say you've played a truckload of sports, and you get the chance to then take across techniques, mental techniques as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think growing up, to fifth, well, even at 20, before I was in the Great Britain programme, I was still playing Sunday League football. It's Sunday League football, but it still involves decision-making, completely different skill set and everything. So for me, growing up, playing as many sports as you can and whatnot makes such a difference. So now I play cricket, I play hockey, and they're the two, and they kind of link in well because of the time of year. But would I go back to playing football? Yeah, because it still has an element of decision-making, control, things like that. The same, it's obviously it's the risk it carries with it now that I can't do it, but I'd still do it because it still offers and keeps so many different things and skill sets available to you.
And at the moment, Sam, you seem to be acquiring a lot more in the skill sets as well. Now that you are spending a bit more time behind closed doors in a house that has quite large staircases and space. Your mini Olympic channel, mate, it's brilliant. Well done. But it is you put a lot on the line there in terms of your personality. You put a lot on the line there in terms of just having some fun, but it's awesome. It is brilliant. Well done. You love that, don't you?
Yeah, and I think that's my point. I think, obviously, as we'll talk about in a bit about what's happened with my head, I think it's just changed me as a person. And I started this isolation Olympics, as I called it. I'm not sure we're allowed to use the word, but hey-ho. But that's why I decided to stop, because actually people have enjoyed it so much and it's the highlights of their day. They're saying, why am I not going to carry? If I can offer one thing during the time I'm stuck indoors, there's loads of athletes out there doing home workouts. There's loads of things lying on stream you can join in. I don't need to just go and be one of those. They can go and get that easy enough. But if I can just make people have a little giggle every day, it brings across my personality. I can have the odd joke at the fact I lost an eye, things like that. And actually I can get my bit of humour that I like and find funny and people find funny just out there, and people see me as the real Sam, not as a person who goes and an aggressive hockey player, and that's maybe the only way you know me.
I love it. Okay, being a guy that blogged live at the end of every day's for almost all my career, wrote to 600 to 1,200 words at every play day. I gave up a lot of me. I showed a lot of myself in those blogs, and I've always been social media aware and things like that. I think that showing of your inner self, the kid, the fun bit, makes a massive difference when it comes time to moving on or having you turn followers into friends. And I think you're doing a great job there, and that leads to really good things, man. Yeah,
no, I completely agree, and that's the point. At the end of the day, there's numerous athletes out there, but we're athletes. We're put on pedestals, and we sat there on pedestals, and they're this kind of person. I want to be known as just Sam, and I want to be able to. If someone messages me on Instagram about it, I want to be able to reply. I want to interact because they've took the time to message me. I want to reply to them. It's like you would to a friend, and that's how I kind of see it all at the moment. You're just connecting with people day in, day out. And I think obviously Great Britain Hockey released that mini documentary, a 20-minute Inside the Circle, the injury, last week. And it's gone down. The amount of messages I've been waking up to daily of just people having only just watched it saying this is inspirational. But also it gets across like my humour and me as a person, what I think. And actually, I feel that makes me close to those people. So that kind of means it's just a lot better connections with everyone.
Yeah.
And they see the human side. They don't see the aggressive Sam Water that goes around, play hockey, puts his heart and soul into it and looks a bit of an angry man. They see the one that actually speaks from his heart and says, we all have struggles. I do. But I don't mind talking about them, because if that helps, as I say, one person, it makes a difference.
Yeah. Mate, no, I haven't seen this documentary yet, but I'm going to have to, and I will probably put a link underneath this as well. If there's it's free to watch, isn't it? It's just a link to.
I'll ping that out to you.
Yeah, mate, I'll put that in under here. Now, so the story is Sam got smashed in the face. I think that's pretty much the story, isn't it? Sam got smashed in the face. Sam put his head where it shouldn't have been, and there was something traveling really fast, and he put his head in the way. Can you, the guy, I've not seen the incident, because I used to be able to do injury videos really quite good. Like, I used to be able to watch them and just cringe. Now they actually make my stomach really turn. Can you tell us what happened, mate? Because it's quite a big deal.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. It's oddly enough, I struggle to watch injuries and whatnot, but being through it and having been through the whole journey yourself from day one, you kind of doesn't bother me, and I don't bat an eyelid at it. So a friend of mine shot a goal, rebound went back to him, and it's one of those things, you know certain skill sets and whatnot, and I was just watching the ball and then thought he might push it, and he has then absolutely launched one. But to the point I'd set for a push, there's no way I'm moving in the next second. I can kind of try and move, but there's no way I'm getting out that quick.
So when you say you're set for a push, you're expecting him to slide the ball to you reasonably quickly, and you're going to glance it into the goal. Is that right? Yeah,
it's the way I think. So I was just expecting him to. I'd describe it like just push and gently throw it at goal, because to get it going, and then I'll kind of react off there.
Yep.
I kind of got in an awkward position and got actually in front of the goalkeeper, like just outside the edge of the goalkeeper, and he has then, which is fine. He did exactly what you'd expect to do. Yeah. Just smash it full belt, and I'm in a bad place. It's probably about 7 yards away, coming at 70 odd mile an hour.
Yeah. And
there's no chance I'm moving, and it's pinged me square here, right on the edge of the eye socket. So instantly, straight away, couldn't see. You could feel. I mean, the pain was just unreal, but it didn't knock me out. So it just knocked me to the ground. Yeah. A bit of blood flying around. There was blood. You could just see blood squirting everywhere. But I could feel it, and I was like, "This is the tiniest cut." I stood up to go walk. Kind of quickly got pushed over by a physio and a doctor, being like, "We just need to check your neck and everything." And I'm like, "Look, honestly, absolutely fine. I'm not been knocked out or anything, but I'm in a lot of pain." And it was like a burning sensation / pins and needles the whole way down the side of the face. So I kind of grinded that out and just walked off the pitch. As I kind of got to, and that was kind of where I got put inside, just wandered straight down the tunnel inside, sat there, the doctor running in and out. And I remember the performance director had come down to sit with me already, and he'd got his arm around me, was like, "You'll be okay." And I'm going, "Just bandage me up. I know I'm struggling a bit with my eye, but I'm okay. Just little bandage, stitch it after the game. I'm going back out." He had to kind of read to me. I think they'd quickly had a conversation outside before doing, and they were like, "Sam's face isn't really there." Obviously, Ed's just sit still, don't move. They'll be dealing with you. That will get you to hospital. You've done your job. You've scored 3 goals in the 2-legged game. You've done your bit. We're going to the Olympics. Just let's get you sorted. So I think, great idea. Stand up. Let's look in the mirror. I stand up. I look in the mirror, and I mean, I'm like this. There's just nothing. There is like a balloon swelling here where the ball didn't hit, but it's like stupidly massive. There's the biggest indentation in the side of my head, like the shape of a hockey ball. Yeah. And everywhere's hurting. And it's like the roof of my mouth felt like it was floating. Yeah. I was like, disgusting. Anyway, I quickly turned around to him. I said, "Look, here's a mobile number. I don't know whose it is. It's my mum's or my dad's, but they're in the crowd. Just text it and say, I'm okay. But if they could get round, let's say hello before I go to hospital. I don't need them to go." So got them round, got me in an ambulance. I was sat in the ambulance. They were just waiting for something. Mum and dad gave dad a hug, just said, "I'm okay. As you can see, it's not ideal, but we'll be fine." That's like, look after mum. Mum's a wreck. As you can imagine, the son's just been hit in front of 5,000 people at point blank range. And that was kind of that. And tried off to hospital.
And is that when it got a bit serious after that? Because you've been kind of flippant about it in the way you tell the story, and I know you've told the story a lot of times now, and I can see little bits of the story that you find quite hard to tell just through body language and just through some of your little tics when you talk about it. But when you got in that ambulance, is that when things started to get a little bit more serious? When did it get serious? Let me ask that way.
Let's say, to me, it got serious about 10 o'clock that night.
Okay.
It took a long time to sink in. I think maybe slightly earlier, but it was between 9 and 10. Basically, I got off in the ambulance. We said, there was a nasty injury, and during 2012 Olympics, Kate Walsh broke her jaw and then carried on playing about a week later, and she'd had surgery and everything, and she was operated on by a certain professor. So they decided to take me 20 minutes further to make sure I was in the Royal London Hospital. Yep. The Barts Trust, who were amazing, just so I could hopefully see this bloke on the Monday morning. So that made quite a big difference. So they got me in, and straight away they were like, look, he's not okay, he's a bit shaken up. And I was just giggling a lot. Then they put me on a lot of pain relief.
Yeah.
And I was just finding the world hilarious. I came flying out of a CT scan, and everyone's like, is he okay? Because he is just finding the world so funny.
Yeah, he's not.
And I said to everyone, I was like, is there a hole in my head? They were like, one of the best we've seen in a while. I was like, oh, brilliant, and just laughing away.
Yeah.
And that was kind of that. It was only, and then I had to get an eye specialist in. And that was when it started to hit home, when she was like, we can't tell you what's going on with your eye because there's just too much fluid behind the back of your eye and your head.
Oh, yeah.
Your eye sat, I crushed, I'd sheared my eye socket here and here, so it crushed my eye forward. So it was sat further forward. So it wasn't sat in its scale properly. So when she was saying things like this, she started to see, wow, this is serious. And then when everyone left me about 10:30 and I'm sat and there's all sorts going on around me and in a normal hospital, and the bloke next to me was chained to his bed with 2 policemen, things like that, and I was pretty on edge. I was like, that's the kind of thing. And I was like, actually, this is serious. And I sat up all night. I mean, I'd got over 250 WhatsApps. The world was going mad. Everyone was like, is he okay? And whatnot. And yeah, that was kind of when it kind of all hit home. And the next few days were pretty uncomfortable. I saw the surgeon. He said, look, I'm telling you the truth. We're taking your face off in 10 days' time.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to cut from here, across here, and down to here. We're going to take your face off. We're going to repair it. We're going to put 31 screws in it, 4 plates, and we're going to see how it goes. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah. Well, they put back on an even better looking one, didn't they?
I know. They must have took someone else's and put it on for me.
They put on a real good looking one, mate. You did good. So you had a face peel, the sort of as in John Travolta and Nicolas Cage face-off kind of style. What did they have to do when they got your face off? Did they get some Chianti beans and some? Sorry. What did they have to do when they took your face off? What's underneath you? What's underneath your skin now?
31 screws and 4 plates. So they're basically plated down here, across here, couple across here, one in here, right on the inside of the eye, down here. You can feel the screws on together. And then actually the worst one is here. It's like, so it had broken the bone that connects to the top of like your jaw to your nose here. There was one going down and that was snapped. So that was the bit I hate most, trying to swallow and eat. There's plates down here. You can feel the screws on the inside of your mouth, and you don't have any sensation anymore to this side of my mouth and up here, and no real control over the nostril. So
that nerve damage, like as you said that the side of your face was on fire. That sounds to me like nerve, like you've really smashed a whole bit of your nerve, and you said you couldn't move it. Is that nerve damage repairing? Have you got any, like your movement seems fine, but what sort of sensations do you have on that side of your face?
It's just a weird numbness a lot of the time. So like touching my nose and nostril, that's just numb. I don't feel a lot of it. It's got weird tingling, but he said it could take up to a year because obviously within the surgery, they've stitched inside my mouth up here. I had 2 stitches externally on the outside after they'd done everything. So it's just gone through so many nerve endings that they're going to take a long, long time. It's like if you get back spasm, they take a long time to repair, but you've gone through all the nerves in a very nervy place that they're going to take a long time to come together.
So from the actual injury, from the injury site, you had 2 stitches. Is that right?
Yeah, I got 3 stitches here. Yeah, from the actual day it happened. Mad.
That's madness, isn't it? We're gonna take your face off. We're gonna take your face off. You're only gonna need a couple on the outside, but then we're gonna have to staple and sew you back up together.
Yeah, it was crazy. And when they told me, I looked at him and was like, I made the stupid decision that the night before surgery I couldn't sleep. Didn't know what was going on. Can't sleep, like nervous as hell for surgery.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google and watch this operation. Why would you do it? You watch someone straight through the head. A terrible idea.
So you were awake the whole time?
No, not when it was done. Not when it was done. That's the If that would have been a bit too far, I think.
I would have. No, see, if I can't feel it, it's not my body. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that, which is really strange. But yeah, I would have. Yeah, I had surgery on my backside, having a hamstring reattached to my your sitting down bone, your ischial tuberosity. I would have loved to have had that put on a TV in front of me as they're hacking it under my cheek and reattaching all that. I love that sort of stuff.
I would have been able to see it. That eye didn't work, so it didn't matter, does it?
yeah, true. Yeah, they put can you bring the TV over the other side? So okay, before we go too far, what is the, what's the damage? What is the recovery like? What do you have now or what don't you have now that you did have?
So basically, I had better than 20/20 vision basically in both my eyes. They were unbelievable. I've basically now got a permanent grey dead spot, having lost central vision.
Oh, okay.
So I've lost all vision on my left eye. So my acuity has gone from I think it's a 60/60 to a 60/0.5. Well, 0 is blind, so you're near enough blind in that eye. I've got a slight bit of peripheral, but it's very thin. But like actual acuity and closeness, I'm reading at this, and I can't really make anything out if it's not this big and from this range. So basically, yeah, it's pretty cooked.
So in your left eye, 60/0.5.
Yeah.
And if that was 60/0, you would see nothing out of that eye, correct?
That would just mean the complete grey blob will cover the whole. I've just got like a light nick next to the grey blob that's kind of open, but that's it. And it had just torn basically straight through the back of the retina. The impact had crushed the retina.
And the retina doesn't grow back, is that correct?
Yeah, the retina's we're not further enough down medical science to be able to have retina transplants or anything. And you can't repair the retina. If you detach, you can kind of try and reattach to make a difference, but sometimes that only gets peripheral. So they were nervous that in time it may detach because of how severe the tear was. Yeah. But touch last checkup a month or so ago, everything's still connected, and I kind of should get away with just this being. I mean, there's so little in it, but that little bit of peripheral does offer me a bit of depth perception when it comes to back return to play.
Yeah. So from now on, every fancy dress party, you're going to go as Terminator with the red left eyeball. Is that just becomes an absolute given?
A given, all that, and face off and things like that. You've got many things in the locker. Or a pirate. Pirate's probably the best for me.
So is it sometimes frustrating to have that vision out of that eye? Do you close it? Do you not use it? Or do you have to, just in case, to keep it working, to get those muscles working in the retina, possibly some miracle of nature?
I just use it now. I just crack. Let's be honest. I just crack on with life. Oddly enough, if I do now, I can't see you on this. I can't see what's going on. But with two, I just can't describe how incredible the brain is. So the brain. So if I close this eye, I can't see you, but I have pretty good, okay vision. Well, I have obviously such good. My vision is better than 20/20 vision in my right eye. So I've a dream with this one. Yes, you have to protect it because this could get an overstressed workload now. Yeah. But your brain I've got a slight blur. You know, you have a few beers and you get a bit hazy. I've just got a permanent hazy blur in my left eye.
No idea what you're talking about. I'll come back to beers in a second because I want to sort of keep going down this road a bit. You are back playing, which I think is phenomenal. I think is ridiculous. Obviously, you're not back at the top end, but you're back and you're doing hockey. How how good are you doing hockey? How's your hockeying going?
My hockeying is going better than expected. So far, it's been a very good return. I played the last, I think, 6 league games of the season.
Yeah.
So I played last 6 league for Old Georgians in the top flight Premier League. I scored 9 in those 6 games. So I was pretty pleased, to be honest. It was a good comeback. That's gone well. It's now just making the next step. So I've been back training with the GB boys full time. I trained for 2 weeks, full couple of weeks, and things are looking up. You've got bits and you've got modifications and stuff, but there's nothing really underlying issue at the moment. There's a few spots where actually your left eye tracks it, but because it's got peripheral, it tracks it. But what you don't realise is it goes blind through the blind spot. Yeah. And because you're being so clever, you don't notice it, but it has. So therefore, just tracking it onto a stick. I actually, if I'm honest, just have to concentrate a lot more about anything. So I've been working on catching quite hard. So as long as I can keep my right eye dominant, I'm fine. So if I was fielding a cover now, I would stand probably facing point.
Yeah, you would stay towards for a right-hander.
Right-hander. So there is no way. Let's not even start to think where I'm going to be facing to a left-hander. I'm going to be facing back. I'm going to be facing the sight screen.
You'll be looking at the bowler.
Yeah.
No. You'll be facing down a fine leg. Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So now in hockey, you used to play pretty much the seagull. You play centre right at the front, and you would swoop and score. Do you now have to play more on the right hand side of the park now, don't you? Sorry. Oh, which is you have to play on the left hand side of the park so that you can look across it.
I wish it was that simple, but
yeah, I know, I get it. Which is why I'm asking. What do you do?
Yes, no. So in a nice way, I've changed nothing. I just changed my body position. So if the ball's coming from this way, I'll just turn a bit more that way. So then my right eye's dominant. So it might look a bit awkward, but it's coming across from the left side. So this eye doesn't track it. My head just goes there. A bit Rory Evans in his batting style with his dominant eye.
But if you're running down the right wing with a blind left eye, you either have to run backwards you're having to make some big technical running style directional differences.
I still have a small amount of peripheral vision out the left.
Yeah.
Actually, when I'm carrying the ball down the right, I do have sense. I think the one thing I would say is it's taught me a lot. And they say if you lose an eye, whatever, your senses change. I wouldn't say hearing. I'd say, but a sense of feel of people around me in general has become more dominant. So I now know where people are more, not by vision, but by feel. I can feel contact. I can feel where they are a lot better. So it has improved other senses.
So you've turned into Daredevil, haven't you? The superhero.
If only. That's the dream. We all want to be superheroes.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. The other toll, and I know you because we talk a lot, and we both have similar issues with anxieties and falling down holes and finding life pretty tough. Predisposed for whatever reason. How are you doing there, my man? How is obviously dealing with this? And we're quite a wee way on, and I know you're a positive and chipper person, but how are you dealing with a change of speed, change of pace, a change of lifestyle? I know you're trying to get back, but
I think it's an interesting one because we had a good chat in January, and I was finding things really hard. I think because we have our open, honest chats, and I'd say then I was struggling because I didn't have an end goal.
Yeah. And
I didn't know where I could go with what I'd got. So that's what I found very challenging. Yeah. So I'm trying to do a 6-week fitness box to be fit, to be allowed to return to hockey, not knowing I could play hockey. That is a pretty tough mental challenge. And it puts you you're digging deep, you're putting yourself in some dark places. And then you're like, but why am I doing this? Because I have no outcome. But there is that inner desire that dragged me through. I think on reflection now, I'm sat here, I know myself better than ever. I understand everything a lot better. I'm clearer. And actually, because I've played hockey, I know my skill set. I know the things I've got to do. I've just got to work hard And there's certain bit I do eye training every day on computer. I'm with the eye gym, which is a fantastic lady called Cheryl Calder, and things like that. By doing that and strengthening my eyes, the way they work as a pair, or just as a simple little bit of peripheral, but that still makes a difference. By doing all those means I'm in the best shape possible. And actually, on reflection now, I think I've learned perspective of my whole life that I think I'm now coming out the other side to be, one, a better person, but two, just understanding myself. So I don't ever get in those holes because there is so much more to life. And I've learned a lot of the connections I've made through it all. Friends, family, close family, friends, and things like that. My connections with friends are unbelievable. And then I get back to a point where I'll hopefully go to Olympic Games in 3 months and they get cancelled. And you're like, and people are like, Sam, this is going to put you through the floor. And I'm 3 weeks into lockdown.
Yeah.
And I'm happier than ever. And everyone's going, this isn't Sam we know that lives and breathes hockey. Well, great. I said, but why? I'm making better connections. I speak to my friends on the phone every day. I can't wait to see them. You realise how much they mean. It's just kicked me into touch to say, just get out of your own world sometimes and just enjoy the world for what it is. And your family and friends mean everything. And the perspective is, I'm being asked to stay indoors to protect everyone. That's easy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Easy. I'm not going to leave that.
How, oh, geez, the questions just disappeared. But let me go to with you, with this change, if you like, in terms of you learning more about yourself and learning more about how Sam Ward ticks. This is me putting that on myself. See, if I could go back and change who I was when I was playing, and be a better person and deal with social situations, deal with changing room, deal with having legends of the game in the changing room, people that I was still kind of fearful of whole way through because I could never find a connection. They were still just these giants of the game. And I couldn't deal with that, and I could never deal with that. And so I was always making my own life hard in the changing room because I didn't know any other way. Now, if I could have gone back and been a different person and been all calm and relaxed and been able to have those interaction, being able to have those relationships and those interactions, I worry that would I have been the same person? Would I have tried so hard on the park because I couldn't get them to like me in the changing room? Would I have tried as hard on the park because this was one way I could get those guys to like me? This was one way I could prove to them that I wasn't just this dick in the changing room. Do you ever contemplate that because you're getting more rounded, it may change how you play? It did for me. It does. It can't. I wouldn't change a thing is probably my answer, which is a strange one.
Yeah. I've been reflecting on this a lot, and obviously we have a lot of time to think at the moment. And I kind of sit here and say, no, I wouldn't want to change. Would I like to be the same person, but more comfortable in myself like I am now? Yeah. Yes, it would, because it would have made my life easier. But is there a fact that me and my psychologist talk about this is hockey doesn't define me. And I've spent the last 5-6 years thinking hockey defines me as a person. Yeah. So if I'm not scoring my goals, if I'm not doing what I can for the team, I feel I'm worthless to them and offer them nothing else. That's where I've got to the point that actually no, like support one another. I'm still me. And this is, I think, where I'm not far off just going, it's the person I am. And if I can be the all-round, as we discussed earlier, whether it's me playing cricket relaxed and bringing that into hockey, if I can be that all-round person from now on, I think my hockey, despite losing an eye and having other issues, this will take my mind off this thinking because I'm having to concentrate. It's going to make me a better hockey player, but I also see things in a much better perspective. So I'll be so much more relaxed. So therefore, I will just be a better hockey player. And that's at the end of the season. I was playing hockey and everyone's like, you seem quite a lot more chilled out about everything, even though things are obviously a lot more challenging. And I was like, well, yes, because there's a lot bigger issues in the world. I mean, I talk about it a lot, but I've got a little guy called Alfie. He came to see me play that day, suffering from leukemia.
Yeah.
He's 12, 13 years old. He's having a tough time. He's missing his childhood years and things like that. And I just want him to do well. And I've been and visited him in his house. And that poor kid goes through a lot. I lost an eye. I was out of the world for about a month. And I'm fine. I'm fit. I'm well. I've been out for a run, 6.2 for my bit of 6.2K this morning for my little bit of exercise, be out and about, back indoors. Fine. Like, I'm fine. I'm fit and well. And what's wrong? Like, I can't be grumpy. I'm living the dream. And this is what I said to the squad. I spoke to them 2 weeks, and I'm quite open and honest. I spoke to the squad before we broke up. Before then, actually, a week later, we got put on lockdown. I thanked everyone, and I said, "Can we just, if you can do one thing, never take this place for granted, because when I had to look for a job, that was depressing, that was hard, that was realising. So when you're moaning about coming into Bisham Abbey, when you're doing this, just sit back, think, put life in perspective and say, we're living the dream. It may be hard, we may be trying, but people would die to do what we're doing. So enjoy the now and just enjoy it. And that's the biggest thing I've learned, is just enjoy the now, enjoy the moments."
You, how long ago was it that we played at Rothley? We're going to go back 4 years?
Probably four max.
Four,
maybe 3. I want to say it was 2017, just after Rio. It was just after Rio.
Yeah, and you'd been to Rio. You had your words. I think these are your words. You guys had failed. You guys, you were really quite brutal on how you thought you'd done, given how you'd gone pre-Rio and how things went for you. And we had some really interesting chats about loathing, self-loathing, and feeling just a wasted opportunity, and almost, I think one time you almost even said, "I wish it didn't happen, because then I wouldn't be feeling like this." I can't remember if it was something along those lines, but you were in a pretty tough place. And I definitely know you weren't doing the best for yourself in that tough place. You were drinking a lot. I know that. You were going out a lot. How have you turned that around? I'm not talking since post-injury. I'm just talking post 2017 and moving onwards. How have you got healthier?
I think it's a simple thing, and this is what I say now, is never be afraid to talk. I talked to you about it quite openly, in a nice way early on, without us knowing each other. We just connected on something very well, and it was the same. And it was around that time I went and got help. Because, and I'll sit here and tell the truth, and no one probably really knows it. I didn't tell my parents. I lied. I didn't tell them the truth. I didn't. And one day when I'd finished my my sessions at Woking, the Priory at Woking, I've been going in and seeing psychologists there, because they didn't feel it was a sports psychologist issue anymore. It was more, further thing, it was more clinic site needed. Yeah. And I kind of left, and the sessions were done. I rang and told Dad, and Dad was like, "Why?" I've been getting post redirected. I've been getting letters, like I'd removed addresses so they couldn't send a letter to home. So they didn't post, because I'd be like, so nothing was kicking around at home, so there was no letters there, things like that.
Well, that's pretty smart. That's high level.
Yeah. But that's the kind of degree I went to hide it from them. Yeah. And actually I told them, and they're like, "Why does it matter? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're getting help and whatnot." And I was like, yeah. And I mean, there's a shame factor I really struggled with. I was driving a car that was sponsored. It got my name. Mm-hmm. I got a sponsored car outside the Priory at Woking. Like, to me, that was shameful. And no, it wasn't. Just deal with your difficulties and get help. And now I have an amazing psychologist, Katie Warren, and she's brilliant. Works with Rugby Sevens, worked with GB. She's had a baby and she's been on maternity leave. And
that's right. Yeah, I remember you talking about her.
She is brilliant. And she challenges me like nobody else. Like, I sometimes leave and I'm like, wait a minute, I've just took a grilling for the last hour. But I'm a bit of a diva, and sometimes I need that. And she knows that. But we've got connection. We talk about things much further than we need to, because the trust in one another. And that's a connection-based thing. And that is what helps me now, because no matter how big or what's happened, I can raise that with her, because we've got such a great mutual trust. Mm-hmm. And even sometimes it's just a WhatsApp. I'm having a tough day, Katie, but I know this is the case. She was like, brilliant. Think of it like that all day. Think of it all that. And that's kind of how it is. And it is that support network that it's never, I sometimes ring a mate and just, I'll turn out the house and I walk in and have a cup of tea. So you've got Angus Porter, who was CEO or Chief Exec of the Professional Cricket Association, very good friend of mine. Obviously been through a lot with numerous cricketers, and I remember really struggling with my head. It was the Sunday before surgery. I've got stitches in my head and not in a great place. And I thought, you know what? I need to talk to someone, but he won't ask a question. So I just sent him a message. I said, Angus, I'm coming for a cup of tea. He didn't ask me a question. I just go, no. I just sat and chatted. I didn't talk about it, but just by talking and someone listen, I felt so great about myself. And 2 hours later, I left. I felt new, man. And actually, just talking makes that world of difference. And actually, just knowing the people, I've got 7 or 8 friends that I can talk to, and I had mates that during all of this, I got a text and said, meet me. Go to a place called Cooper's in Marlow for coffees. Meet me in Cooper's in 20 minutes. So just woke up. He said, be there. I was like, what have I done? And he was like, you're in the media. You believe in your. This was the point where we really didn't expect you. Like, we need you to accept that you might not play again. Because if you deal with that and then you do, it's a bonus. It's amazing. But don't set yourself up on a pedestal to get shot down. And he called me in to say, you believe in your own hype, sort yourself out, stop it. And 3 of them had a meeting behind my back, and then he'd decided he was going to be the one that delivered to me. Wow. But having those connections, you think how many of your friends can ring you and say, I'm talking to you in a minute, and you're going to sit and listen to me for the next 25 minutes, half an hour. I'm going to say my piece. And that will resonate and sit with me for the rest of my life, knowing I've got friends. Does it help that I grew up with the lad? Yeah. Solly Willars lives in Rothley. I've grown up with him, known him since age of 9. So you've got that connection, it's easy. But if someone can feel comfortable enough to be able to call you out for that, it's top class. So
in that was an intervention on your ego. There was an intervention on. It wasn't behaviours. It was just ego. It was just you getting a bit ahead of yourself.
Yeah, me being a bit blasé about the whole situation, and only now really when I look back, and it's five months on Monday since I have had my face off. I mean, and I look this gorgeous. It's unbelievable. I know, mate. Yeah. But you think it's 5 months ago you had your face off. I mean, I've done a few pictures from 3 months after, and you go to think from that to that is unbelievable. Like how that has happened, and you just have to be thankful for everything that happened and how much you come on in time.
How much this is area that I've not dived down before, and you can leave it, but I love a wine. I enjoy a drink, and I do think it is a nice escape from the day, and it's a nice escape from your own sort of personality sometimes. And there was a part of you that was probably diving down that a whole lot too much post Rio, sort of 2017 area.
Yeah, definitely. I'm completely honest. It's probably not something I've openly talked about massively, but it's true. Like,
you don't have
and I don't mind talking about it.
You don't have to either.
But no, I'm happy to talk about it because it's the truth, and people do it, and people could tell it. It got to a point my anxiety was bad, and actually, what am I going to do on a Friday night? I'm going out. Why? Friday, Saturday nights. I'm a full-time athlete. Like, that's not okay. Like, you earn your right, but in the middle of an intense 3-week block, when you need to recover and whatnot, that's not what you do. And it's all about picking your moments, and that's what I learned. And now, actually, it's okay on a Friday night to sit in and do nothing. I've had a tough week. I don't need money. I don't need to crave attention. And I think this is me openly talking even further, is just in general life, is me going out on the beers was a go out, have beers with my mates, but it was because I needed the attention. I needed to crave it. We'd have a laugh. We'd do silly things. Nothing outrageous, but you were having fun. But you felt like you needed the beers to kind of have the fun. Whereas now it gets to a Friday night and I might drive to the pub, not have a drink, just see my mates, whatever, and leave. I'd have never done that. And I just wouldn't have done it. And that's just because now I understand. And if actually now, if I'm really craving and want to, I won't, because I know what's going on. And that's about learning to myself. Actually, why do I want beers? Like, I'm stuck in lockdown at the moment, and we're all in lockdown. We're all in. And what was the first thing that I thought I'd turn to? Thought, I'm going to fall off the rail. I'm going to be on the beers every night, whatever. Olympics cancelled, ease off training. I'm in the gym 2 days a week. I'm in the best nick of my life because that is my way of dealing with what's going on. I'd never run a 5K until yesterday, like gone out and done a 5K. Did one yesterday at 8:30 in the morning, got up this morning, ran another one. Like, what's going on? But it's just because I know that I can use different things as my getaway. And I'm in the best nick of my life despite being stuck indoors because I'm learning to manage that. And actually, you know what? If I want a couple of beers on a Saturday night, I can. But I'm allowed beers once a week. And I have to choose the day. And it's no more than 2 or 3. And that's what I do Friday night.
When you, at the start of that, thank you for talking about that, mate. I appreciate that. At the start of it, you said you were escaping anxieties and using that as a method of what were the anxieties that you mine was always social situations. I couldn't really do groups of more than 3. I just wouldn't be able to function, and so I couldn't really do it. So even going to the pub wasn't really a thing for me. But having a bottle of wine in was fine. That would kind of be and I would still be escaping my anxieties because I wasn't away, I wasn't in there, and that bottle of wine would help me think, oh, it's okay because I'm here and I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling fine now. What were the anxieties that you were trying to put to one side, that you were trying to move away from? Was it to do with performance and persona and who you were and trying to deal with that? That's kind of what I'm hearing.
I think, yeah, so I'd say I couldn't define me as a person because I felt I'd failed. Rio, that was what I'd say is I felt I'd lost. As I discussed earlier, I always thought that hockey defined me as a person. Yeah. So then me not being successful, therefore sees me as a failure, which means then I've lost me. Like, I'm not me anymore. So therefore now I've got to get away from that, and my disappointment created an anxiety, which then I thought, well, yeah, it's the same. Oh, I'm going to go for a few beers in the pub because actually I forget about everything. I just forget anything. Yeah. I go on a map one, that's it. And then wake up next morning, and then you've got a day of anxiety around. And and it's just actually it escalates to be worse. But then that's the thing that actually it's now Saturday afternoon. Well, the only way to forget about it again is go for a few more beers. Yeah. And that's where it can escalate out of control. Whereas actually now having the ability to rein it in and understand is somewhat incredible. And I think just being, this is what I said the other day to psychologists, I am comfortable in myself. And this is, people laugh and joke, and anyone who watch it would say they know me, they'd be like, I don't have a girlfriend or anything, but that's because I don't love myself. So how can I love anyone else? Because I don't love myself enough. And when I learn to love myself, it will naturally happen because I'm being me.
I love you, bro.
I love you as well.
I'm not gonna you're good looking, but I'm not switching sides. But I love you, bro. When did you always? I always knew that I let cricket define me. I knew that from very early, and I to a point. I think I said that I said this once before, that playing cricket was a part of my escape, so I could go out and play cricket and I could be somebody. But also there was an element for me where I now kind of see myself as a self-harmer. I've talked about this once. Go back on the one I did with Ian Smith, who used to be on the Players Association, who Angus will know quite well. And I talked about sort of going out there and playing injured and doing all that because it was because going out and playing was what Ian does, and that would make Ian O'Brien well liked and respected, and everyone would want to be Ian's friend because Ian is successful. So I have this so deep connection with you in that learning to let go of the player to get to the person. What have you done to let go of the player? Okay, a little bit enforced here, But what were you doing to let go of the player and let Sam Ward be a decent person?
I don't know.
How do you get rid of being Sam Ward, the international hockeying goal scoring machine? Hockeying, yeah.
I think I just have to. I think my big thing that I think I let a lot of. I carry a lot of persona when I play hockey, and I think that was I had to learn that at hockey.
You carry a reputation, yeah?
Yeah, so I carry a reputation. I probably carry quite a heavy front of a loud person, whatever. But actually, deep down, that's not me. I actually carry my anxiety, my shyness, and whatnot. And actually, it was almost leaving that at the hockey pit. I went for a stage where I tried to be the nice guy, so be me off the pitch, but on hockey, and my hockey was dreadful. So I had to kind of go back the other end. We talk about this as with a psychologist, and it's like it's here and it's down here, and I want them to meet square in the middle and kind of accept. And that's where I'm getting to, that I can have the me and what I do playing hockey, but then actually you can still have the caring side, and the connections. Actually bringing the caring side, that brings the connection with the teammates, which then when someone goes, is he in this for himself? They go, no, because he does this, this and this. It's just that he might not articulate something well.
Are you sort of on topic? If you score a goal, who's the first person you go celebrate with? Trick question, but when you score a goal, who's the first person you go and celebrate with?
I just run off really excited. That's the problem. Yeah, there's no one in particular. It's just the nearest bloke to everyone's going to run and jump on us.
Yeah, no, I have this was something I learned towards the end of my career was when I got a wicket, and I'd be like, yeah, brilliant, I've done great. Yeah, except someone else caught it. Except, someone else had roughed them up at the other end. And while I might have got the wicket, it's actually really kind of his wicket because he was doing all the good work, and he made a mistake, the batsman made a mistake to me. And I have this thing in sport in that not often enough are goal scorers going to see the person that set them up, the assist maker, that last pass. And I have this real deep annoyance now when I see football and I see this amazing pass and the goal scorer puts in a nice touch, little easy little drop in, whatever, and then they run off to the corner flag and leave the assist guy alone. Is hockey better than football like that? Are you better than that?
I'd say we are. I think it's a variety of different things, like momentum, where you are. But I actually think we tend to go into two separate groups in the hockey world now. As in, if it's long distance pass, one will all go to them and one will go to the goal screen.
Yeah.
No, I'd say we're in a world. We don't go to corner flags or anything like that.
No.
Kind of, if he's going corner, we wheel off slightly, turn around, and you kind of bring everyone in. So you do try and bring as many people in as possible.
Yeah, no,
but you're also euphoria and pumped behaviour for your.
It's just this thing that I have about team sports now, or sports with that are taken in a team thing, and I'm trying to I'm going back to university and I'm going to go back and I have this new sort of philosophy on success and life and I sort of these sort of team values and there's all these things that I think we've missed in sport and love is one of them. Sports, men's sport, very masculine, very toxic, loads of banter. And I hate that word because it's really bullying. What is it? What changes have you seen since you've started playing sort of pre-Rio now? Is it different? Can you bring a different atmosphere to the team?
Yeah, I think we've got such a togetherness, I'd say now.
Yeah.
And
I hear that word a lot.
This moment. So I think that's the thing. I think obviously enjoying what's happened. And if it's a beautiful team goal, it's everyone together really enjoying that moment. And I think that's the difference. We got through a stage where we didn't really celebrate goals. Goals became a relief.
Explain that to me.
We have some games. So basically, we'd score and we'd just trot back and no one really celebrating together, because it was just like, thank God we finally scored. We've worked so hard, we've trained so hard, we've scored. Whereas now we actually enjoy the moment of of scoring the goal, and we celebrate together, and it's everything we talked about. Yeah.
So in terms of the team development, has that changed as a culture?
I think.
Do you force yourself to enjoy it a bit more? Force yourself to celebrate when you don't necessarily feel like it?
No, I'd say it now becomes natural because we've got better connections with one another and whatnot. I think that creates an atmosphere where we then want to celebrate each other's moments. So it's not forced. I'd say it's like having forced fun. Like you don't want to ever be that. When someone arranges like, oh, well, you're away on a trip, I'd say, and oh, tonight we're going to do this. But actually, every other night, people have been off doing what they want to do, whether it's game of Monopoly deals or whatever, or just chill out in the room. They've been doing what they do. We see each other all day. We don't need forced or arranged fun.
Yeah.
And it's just the same when it comes to schooling. Oh, we don't have to celebrate, but we actually now do it because we enjoy the moment.
Nice, man. Nice. That's cool. Genuinely, were you a chance for Tokyo? Because you've talked about it. You've talked about it a few times, and I'm just absolutely blown away that you were like, awesome, congrats. But given your injury and recovery, you're a chance.
Yeah, obviously I'd come back. I was doing well. I've still got a fair bit to do, and you're still learning and managing things. And was Tokyo maybe coming quite quickly? Yeah, it was, but it was exciting. I was in a good place, and hopefully I'd have got pulled up back a shirt on in May and kind of see how it went in a way. And it was one of those things. I was doing fine in GB training, so I needed to be put back out on the main stage to see how it went. Yeah. So now actually, if anything, it's giving me more time to do my eye training, learning to get through the other bits. But actually, by having the extra time, yes, it's difficult on the body. Yes, it's difficult mentally to have another year and a half slog. But I'm just embracing it and seeing it as more time for me to be the best version of me I can.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. You got to look after that other eye now a whole lot better, don't you?
It's people just don't realise. It's simple things. So I'm actually really nervous carrying knives these days, and it sounds really stupid, but it's something to do with post-injury. I had a lot of night terrors, and people were throwing darts and stabbing my right eye out because I've been forced to make it this thing that this is like the protective one. This is my life now, this eye. So I have to keep it. So things like that do make me a bit on edge. So yeah, but it's like we were chatting, and it's like we're allowed an hour's exercise out and about. And I was like, Angus said to me this morning, he said, oh, why don't you go on Jack's bike? Like, borrow it, go out for an hour. I was like, can't. Why? Yeah. Because there's just no point taking the risk. So what do you mean? I said, I've got a watt bike here. I can do my session. I can work hard. I can get it. Yes, it might be a bit more monotonous and a bit boring, but I'm safe here and doing it. Go out on that road. Someone drives past, kicks a stone, hits that eye, done. Life's going to be pretty challenging with no eyes.
How many pairs of sunglasses and just clear glasses are you going to go through? You're gonna surely that becomes your absolute main focus. Just wearing fake glasses all the time now, don't you?
Yeah. So I think regarding any form of glasses, it's not something I've been told I have to wear now. But playing hockey, I wear protective glasses. And then sun as well, because the sun can damage your eyes. Basically, any time the sun comes out, sunglasses on. So I did make a nice cheeky 3 pairs. I've purchased 3 pairs already this year. So
when you're playing though, you wear a safety style. They're not quite as bad as a safety style in the lab. What else do we change the protective wear in hockey? Does something happen where? I know you knew I was going to ask this because looking at cricket and how the protective wear has changed because it has to. What happens in hockey? Does something happen?
It's a tough one. I've had small discussions. It's people say, do we change the rules? And I say, my honest opinion is, how can you change the rules? This happened due to a skill breakdown and a ball going slightly wide, actually. But I was in a stupid place, but still, it's going slightly wide, whatever. People say we should only shoot below the background. That doesn't stop my inability next time I shoot not hitting it on the floor.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what my argument is I think it should be optional, but it can't put others at risk. We can't go around wearing grills, because grills will slice people, they'll cut people, they'll damage. They could slice someone's leg, they could go through arteries, they could do things. You don't want that. But for me, if you could, I wear a protective frame with no lens, actually. That actually, if you could protect, the reason I lost my eyesight was due to the fact that the bone got crushed my eye. So if we could stop bone structures crushing, then yes, I'd agree that like mine are small, and if they protect you well enough, I think it should be optionally allowed. But that's something for the future. It
is the future, but given, Phil Hughes, cricket, got hit around the back of the neck, helmets now, it's not, you don't have to, but a lot of people wear them. Had you have died, and that's a chance, and there may have been a bit more of a push towards something for hockey players, given the death scenario, given losing a significant player.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that is, when you actually put it brutally of what happened, that's why I probably look at things very differently and so open and see perspective on it all. But yeah, I think if that had happened, I don't know what would have gone on, but it is an interesting thought.
Another time. Sam Ward, you've been phenomenally honest. Thanks, my man. I always love talking to you. I mean, this could have just been a phone call anyway in terms of how we've talked, but you're doing awesome. Genuinely love you, and I miss you. You're great here. You're looking good. They could have just stapled your left ear just back a little bit, but you can't win them all.
You win some, you lose some, don't you? That's the problem.
Yeah, mate. You can't have it all. You have to have something that makes you distinguishably, good looking. Take care, legend. Say hi to Angus, and mate, we'll speak soon.
Cheers, boss. Take care,
mate.